Hello and welcome to this session brought to you by the Academy of Practical Accounts in conjunction with your institution. In this session, we'll look at previous year balances. The objective is to provide figures that facilitate comparison between the most recent year and the year before that. So these are the balances for the previous financial year, and apparently this is supposed to be report C1. That was the final trial balance for the previous financial year. And of course, we now have it as document number 19 for this current financial year. And essentially, where do we find this information if we were looking for it? So you look at document number 19. So look at income, all expenses, that was closing stock, the balance on the bank account, cash, whatever. Now, what happens is from 201 up to 254, those have been recorded as opening balances. They have been recorded as opening balances on those respective accounts. And then from 270 to 287, we have one figure that is summing them. Please try to calculate that. And from 270 to 287, the sum that you get should be the minus. Let's find it quickly. That should be the minus 2324 for capital brought forward. So these were our opening balances on document 11, if you can recall. Okay, so that's the relationship. In that here, we sum up the owner's equity, and then actually, let's see, we sum up the owner's equity, and yes, we sum up the owner's equity plus the difference between these two. So ideally, we have all incomes, all expenses, and then all these summed up into the capital brought forward. I beg your pardon. So you've got to add these and then these last four to get the capital brought forward of 2324. And as you can see below here, this one has got to be recorded separately. That was the closing balance for creditors. That was the closing balance for creditors. Now let's get to our device. This is our device, and we're going to record the previous year balances for comparison purposes. Now, the form we are supposed to use, let's see, let's have a quick look here. Now, these modules, they're misbehaving because this is a bigger device. Bigger device. Now, let's see. So we've got year end here, and in here we've got a button leading us to previous year comparison figures. That's what we're going to use for recording this. So we click this, and then it's asking for the number. How many are they? These are about 5, 10. Okay, let's have 15, and then we shall adjust the figure accordingly. 15, let's make it 16 and delete some. So that's a 1 and a 6, and okay. So those are the 16 rows here. All right, now the date doesn't matter here, largely because these transactions actually don't end up in the general ledger. They just end up on 3 reports, as we shall have a look. That is the notes to financial statements, which is report B4. Okay, it's 4 reports actually. We'll look at those briefly. Now we start with account number 5. Oh, we start with the amounts. Let's start with the amounts and be sure. That is minus 31,000. Now this keyboard is not very good. Okay, now where is the minus sign? Minus 30. Okay, we need the figures. We need the figures. This keyboard doesn't look familiar. Oh yes, I had to set a keyboard that is familiar. So we need the amount. Now we need minus 31,100. Minus 31,100. Okay, and then next that is 14,050. 14,050. Next to that is 1,500. Next to that is 4,445. Next is 372. Next is minus 440. Okay, let me get, yeah, that is better. That is better, yes, yeah. Next to that is minus 115. Minus 115. Yeah, this is faster. Minus 28. Oh, it has gone back. Minus 28 goes back. And then minus 3,410. Minus 3,410. And then minus 1184. 1184. And then 3,410. 3,410. And then 12,000. Then finally we've got 500. Now before we type the 500, you can see that the difference is 500. So when we enter the 500 there, the difference is going to disappear. So this is 500. Sorry, 500. Very good. Now before I forget, this keyboard is called Flexpansion. It's quite good and speeds up your work. It's got text prediction in case you're typing the narration. Save a bit of time. It's quite user-friendly. Flexpansion, there is a paid and free version. You can use a free version. So we've got a zero difference, and now we are done with the amounts. Okay, now let's scroll up and let's sort out the narration, and then we shall end with the accounts. Now the document number is 19. Document number is 19, and the narration should be previous year balances. We can type PY balances. We use the text prediction, and now finally we get into there. That is account 5. Count 5 there. And below that is account 25. We type in a 25. There we are. And below that is account 201. Account 201. Next to that is account 205. Account 205. Next to that is account 212. Account 212. Type 213. So I need to change it to 212. 212. Next to that is account 225. 225. 225. 225. Okay, we continue. After 212, we have account 225. Account 225, 225. Loan 1, and thereafter is 236. Account 236. After that, we have account 251. 251, temporary creditors. 251, temporary liabilities. And then 3410 is 254. Oh God, we made a mistake. Okay, we're going to we'll adjust it after this. We have 254. And if after this, 1184 is on account 270. 270. And then we have 283. Now 283 is blank. So instead of customizing it now, we shall change the name after recording this. That's 283. And then 12,000 is 286. 286. And then finally we have 287. 287, 287. And that's it. Now for the rows below that, we're going to delete because we don't need them. So we click delete once, delete twice, and thrice. Now we are ready to save our opening balances. Click save. Now, yes, we click save now. 283 is unpaid tax. Yeah, we save that. Okay, that is done. Now remember, we need to customize account 283. We need to do it now. So we need the chart of accounts modify, and we search for account 283. Now 280. Oh God, 283. 283. It's not behaving very well. All right, now we need to customize this to tax unpaid. That is tax. God. Tax unpaid. Unpaid, and we click update. That should be very good. And then the very final task regarding previous year balances is transferring 3410, minus 28 from the temporary creditors to the creditors control account. Now we have a special form in the creditors module for recording the creditors previous year balance. So on this form, all we need to enter is the amount, and the amount is negative 28. Negative 28, and we click save. That one has been done, but then I just realized we made one simple error. Let's go back to miscellaneous and we correct this most recent journal. The period is not right, so we click edit. The period, yeah, is being recorded for period 12, and yet it should be previous year balances. Good. Now, previous year balances are recorded in period -1. We've got month 1 up to 12. Year end is month 13. Balances brought forward is month 0. And balances for comparison purposes belong to month -1. So let's see. Let me use this keyboard of mine. Now when I click that drop down arrow, it takes me to 11. Let's try to go up. Should go to 13. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to delete that. Type a 0. Okay, we already have a 1. We go down to a 0, and then we have -1. All right, now let's see. Now when the month is 1, that's the first quarter. When the month is 0, we got a balance brought forward quarter. And when the month is -1, we've got the comparative quarter. And now we should be ready to save, to update what we have corrected. So we click update, need to click on the device. And there we are, it's done. It's been updated. Okay. Now, what we need to do is to look at the reports where these previous year balances do make sense. Now, from this mini year end checklist, we'll look at the reports in section B. That is B3, B2, and B1. On any of those reports, we shall find a comparative column. Let's have a very quick look at B3. Clicked the wrong one. Need to go back. Need to click once. Oh, it's supposed to be B4, not B3. Supposed to be B4. So we can see the previous year figures we have just entered in the previous year column. Now on the left is the most recent, and this is the previous year. And then it gives us the change amount between the previous year and the current year. There is an increase of 2,282, and this is done by the app. And that one is an increase of 7.34%. Now let's have a look at expenses. So the previous year it was 14,000. In this new year it's 18,000. So there's an increase of 4,929, which is a 35% increase. It's a big one. It's a big one. It's a big one. It's a big one. Now we're looking at the bank balance. It has dropped by only 80 pounds. Dropped by only 80 pounds. The cash balance has increased by 105. And then here the creditors has increased by 2. The loan has reduced by 100, which is 22.73%. It's amazing how this is done by the click of a button, and yet we used to spend lots of time to compute this. And then we look at the credit card. Credit card was this, has gone up to that, an increase of 729, which is 633% increase. And then we look at the capital brought forward from 1184 to 2324, an increase of 1,140, more or less double, more or less double. Now capital added from 0 to 400, that is 100% increase. Now let's see the tax on profit. We don't know this figure. We haven't yet entered this figure. It's computed, although we haven't yet entered the figure. Now drawings was reduced from 12,500 to 12,000. We probably will see. Maybe there is no extra drawings being taken at the year end, so it's a drop of 4%. Now let's have a look at the other report affected by these comparative figures. Now this is B3. Okay, I don't want to spend time on that. Let's look at B2. That's the balance sheet. The balance sheet. So these are the figures here. Let's see. There's nothing in the fixed assets area. Closing stock has not changed. Bank balance. Now what we've seen, remember, those are the notes to financial statements. The figures are very similar here. Okay, and then the final report that requires this comparative column is B1, the profit and loss account. There is also some comparison. The turnover, as we can see there. Let's see. That's 7.34% increase. Expenses 35% increase. The profit has dropped. Profit has dropped from 17,000 to 14,000. Remember, because the business is small, all expenses are recorded under note 3. So they don't need to see all these details. If you want anything, you just go into there. So it's a 15.52% drop in profits. Well, that brings us to the end of this session where we looked at the recording of previous year balances and how they are utilized. In case you wish to contact us, please use our email address or get us on Skype. We shall be willing to answer any queries that you have. And thank you.